All right, let's take a look at one of our staple exercises. So banded lateral steps. At some point, we've all put a band around the toes, the ankles, the knees, and gone through some kind of sidestepping action. And we've got a couple of options. So you can put the band around your toes, you can put it around your ankles, or you can put it around your knees. Now, EMG studies have shown that when you put it around your toes, you're going to get a higher contraction or a stronger contraction of your glute muscles, or more or less bring more of those fibers into the game. Now, the caveat is that's only if you are recruiting from the right area. So I'm a huge proponent of doing things correctly, and part of that is proper recruitment. So one thing I always check is, where is somebody feeling it when they do this exercise? Simply putting a band around your toes and going sideways doesn't mean you're going to get the right thing out of the exercise. So let's start with the ankles. Put it at your ankles and just do one set of 10 steps going sideways and then 10 steps coming back. And ask yourself, where do you feel it the most? So the ideal answer is the upper outer quadrant of your glutes, so right up here. The guideline I go with, if you take this little bony part right here, the greater trochanter, I don't want anything below there, and I'm not looking for any sensation forward of there. So we're looking for behind and up, or upper outer quadrant. If you're getting sensation going down the leg, the IT band, it tells us you're not really getting the glute in there very well, and we're applying that stress down at the IT band. If you just keep banging out reps, all you're going to do is reinforce some bad habits. So let's say you take a few steps and you're not feeling it in the right area. Maybe it's going down your leg. Bring the band up just below your knees. That's going to be an easier place to start. Now, there are a lot of different ways of doing this, and I don't like to categorize things as right and wrong. I certainly believe in the way I'm getting ready to teach it. Otherwise, I would be teaching it differently. So we're going to start, and you're always going to maintain tripod weight distribution. So big toe mound, little toe mound, and your heel. Stance is going to be hip width, and the key is you're not going to get in any narrower than hip width. So you're going to take a step, maybe 2 or 3 inches, and then you're going to come in about 2 or 3 inches. Now back to, I don't feel it in the right area. If you put your hands on your hips, and then you slide your thumbs down about an inch, and then back about an inch, take a couple of steps. What you should feel are those muscles balling up under your thumbs. That's our target group. So if you go ahead and apply pressure, take your thumbs, press into those muscles, and then go through your side steps, what you're going to do is start to wake them up. So a muscle's first response when you start digging into it is to actually contract, turn on to protect itself. So what we're going to do is poke the bear, so to speak, wake it up, then go through our movement, and we should be able to bring those muscles into play. So tripod weight distribution, hip width stance, hands on your hips, find those muscles, and take about a 3-inch step, and then come in about 3 inches. So we're going to go 10 steps one way, and then you're going to come 10 steps back. And while pressing in, you should feel those muscles start to kick in a little bit more. So once you're pretty good getting it at the knees, then go ahead and bring the band down to your ankles, and then from there, toes, that's absolutely where I want to end up with people, but we need to make sure we get the right pattern. Once we go to the toes, we also have this internal rotation that we're having to deal with, so we're getting a little more external rotation along with the abduction. So these lateral steps, they are in programs across the board, but make sure you're doing them correctly and make sure you're recruiting the right muscles.